Good afternoon, everybody. It's very quiet in here. Yep, let's go.
Good afternoon, everyone. Sure, as excited as I am to get this thing rolling. So welcome to this press conference following the IOC Executive Board. I have with me our President, Kirsty Coventry. I have Olympic Games Executive Director, Christophe Dubi. IOC Director for NOC Relations, James MacLeod. And Pierre Ducrey, who is the IOC Director for Sports. Just before we get going, simultaneous interpretation is available in English and Italian via the app, which hopefully you've already downloaded. There's a QR code that's displayed on the entrance to this room, so it's probably a bit late for you, but there we go. And we will also be taking some questions from one of my colleagues over here, from external people as well, up in the mountains and various other places. So bear with us on that one. Without any further ado, let me go now to President Coventry for your opening remarks.
Thank you, Mark, and hi, everybody. Nice to see some familiar faces. Very warm welcome to Milano. We're very excited to finally be here. We've had a great week. We were warmly welcomed by the city and a visit with the mayor, Mayor Sala. We had and spent some time with the president of the Lombardy region, President Fontana. We had our executive board meeting, which went really well yesterday, getting ready for the IOC session in the coming days. And we got to be in this room, actually, I think it was, with our volunteers. And that was really, really cool. It was a fun afternoon spent with them and getting to hear their excitement about the games. We've had, obviously, our daily coordination commissions with the Milano Cortina team. And I need to thank them. Things are running really well. Lots of excitement. Athletes are starting to arrive. Athletes in some of the venues, as I'm sure Christophe and Pierre can give us some more details. But really, things are looking really positive, and we're seeing lots of good things happening around the city and throughout the regions. We are very excited that we have been watching and witnessing the torch relay. That has been going extremely well, and thank you to all of the millions of people that have come out to witness that and to cheer and to create the environment. And now we're looking really forward to the next couple of days as we get closer to the opening ceremony. So with that, Mark, I will pass back to you.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's go to Q&A. If you could wait for me to call you and the microphone to come so we don't get too confused. Let's start with Carlos from Reuters down the front here. If we could get a microphone over to Carlos.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam President. Thank you for your time today. A question on the LA28 revelations yesterday regarding Casey Wasserman. Did you discuss that at all, and do you consider that to be damaging to the preparations for the Olympic Games 2028? Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. We didn't discuss it yesterday, and I believe Mr. Wasserman has put out his statement, and we have nothing further to add. Thank you.
Okay, let's go to lady here. Just, yeah. Do you want to stand up and then they can get a microphone across to you? Yeah.
Thank you. Question from CMG CCTV5. So my question is about preparation of Milano 2026. According to the local committees, their report to the IOCB, I'm wondering what is the current process of the preparations? Has it reached 95% or even more? And then my second question is about, this is most spreaded Winter Olympics so far. So have you heard any different voices from the athletes, from the media, stakeholders, or the public? So according to, because with this new model, I think it's difficult to cover all these events. So I'm wondering, are you confident to run it properly with this new model? Thank you. Bye.
Thank you for the question. I can pass the first one over to Christophe if you want specific stats, but the preparation is going extremely well. The team is working very hard. What's really nice is the Milano Cortina Organizing Committee and ourselves as the IOC and the international federations and all stakeholders are working very well, including actually with the NOCs. And again, the team can give you a bit more specifics if you would like, but we're exactly where we need to be. On the spread, yes, it's a little bit more spread out. As you know, that decision was taken to be adaptable to the new norms, to climate change, etc. But again, the organizing committee have made the best possible opportunities available to all stakeholders to be as successful as they would in any other games. We've not had any challenges so far. We will need to see how the games unfold. Yes, there's a few longer distances from venue to venue, but everyone is very prepared. And this is where, again, I need to thank the organizing committee as well as the IOC and the different department heads that I have here, because the education to all of the stakeholders on the various spreadness of the games has been done, and the buy-in from those stakeholders has been given to us. So I'm very excited about the games. They are going to be in world-class venues in the most iconic, most beautiful places of Italy, and I think the athletes are going to have an absolutely fantastic time. Christophe, anything to add on specific percentages or where we are, or Pierre?
President, 98.75%. No, I'm just kidding. We're good to go. You know, the venues look fantastic. We've been up there in the mountains. We've visited all venues in Milano. You'll see. It's really spectacular. I know some of you have probably visited some of the venues, so no need to say more, except maybe the question of dispersion. If you're an alpine skier, man or woman, respectively, do you choose any other venue than Bormio or Cortina? And yes, it's far away, but are these the most iconic locations? Without doubt. And the same can be said for Anterselva. And when you go to Livigno, you will see what Livigno is. Giangiaco, you remember Giangiaco? Not too close from Beijing, though, huh? It was quite far, and I remember that as well. But once you were in Giangiaco, it was a good experience. And I think where we have to praise the organizing committee is that to adapt to what we said could be done, which is use what you have in the local territories. They thought about the experience of, number one, the athletes. Opening ceremony for the first time, 4 locations. Is it easy to do? Certainly not. Main action in San Siro, but in Cortina, in Predazzo, in Livigno, all of them can walk. All of them can participate in the ceremony. And every evening, the Champions Park, the same as the celebration in Paris, in the same location. So experience of the athletes, we hope and trust it will be a really good one.
James, you want to give a quick brief on the Olympic villages? Because we've had really good feedback on that.
Yes, thank you, President. Good afternoon, everyone. The feedback from the National Olympic Committees and the athletes have started to move into the villages has been nothing short of extraordinary. Really, the services that the Milan Cortina Organizing Committee are providing is really outstanding. And the athletes have started their training, and everything is going very well. We are on track to probably have 92 NOCs participating. The DRMs haven't quite finished, but that's our estimation right now. And a huge satisfaction from them.
Thank you. Pierre, on the sport and the international federations?
Oh, it's on already. Yes, thank you very much. So Christophe, I think, gave a very good overview of where we are from a sports standpoint. We have the unique chance here to have competition in some of the most iconic venues you can think of in winter sport. And where we have new venues, we spent a lot of time, as you could see, testing the venues, working with the international federations. We have training going on since yesterday. Everybody's very happy with the conditions that are being provided for training. So at this point in time, everything is green ahead of having fantastic competitions.
Thank you, Pierre. Okay, I think I saw Sean. Is it Sean over there? Yeah, it is. We're from The Guardian. And then we'll come back and we're going to move over here. Yeah.
Hello, Sean Ingle, Guardian. There were hundreds of protests in Milan yesterday against the deployment of US ICE agents during these upcoming games. I was wondering, first of all, do you know how many agents will be here? And secondly, given so much Olympics is about nations and people coming together in peace, what is your message to those who think having ICE agents in Milan will be divisive and not really in the Olympic spirit? Thank you.
Thanks, Sean. So as from what all the information that we have, and I believe the US authorities, as the other authorities, have made all the clarifications needed. So from our side, that's not for us to further comment on that part of the security. But we're really looking forward to the games, and there's going to be some exhilarating events happening, and we're seeing the final athletes that are qualifying in the last couple of days into this weekend. So we're very excited to get the games going and look forward to the opening ceremony.
Jacqueline Magnay from the Australian.
Thanks. Hello, Madam President. I'm just wondering, with your executive board, what major decisions you've made and whether there's been a decision about the sports program and when the session may be considering the Brisbane 2032 sports.
Thanks, Jacqueline. So for this executive board, we really focused on the preparation of the session, as well as getting updates on the different various working groups. We spoke about the Olympic program, the working group on the Olympic program, and we had an update from that working group. They are working very hard, as you can imagine. There's a lot of information that they're going through, and they were sharing with the board some of the next steps that they're looking at. The goal for me with all the Fit for the Future is to start really looking at strategies and putting things into place by June. Not all work will be done. Some is very detailed and will take certain steps and will take some time. But I believe with Brisbane 2032, we've spoken with them, and the goal would be at some point between June towards the end of the year within that phase. And I can look to Pierre, but I believe I'm speaking under your control. I'm hopefully giving you the right information. Absolutely. So that's what we're looking at.
Okay, we're going to go to Kyoto. There's lots of people. We're going to get around as many as we can. We're going to come over here in a minute. So, yeah, over here in the front row. Thank you.
Takafumi Yoshida from Kyoto News. About this edition, gender equality, this edition, 47% of athletes are women. And this is big achievement, but still not fully gender parity. What will be the next step or next strategy for IOC in this topic?
Well, like you said, we're very proud of the fact that we have 40% gender parity in these Winter Games. In Paris, we were closer to 50-50. But what the strategy would be is to start seeing how that can filter down throughout the ecosystems. So into our national federations, into the international federations, into all of the support staff and entourage in and around athletes. And so that's really where the focus in the future we will start trying to put different strategies and advocacy programs and educational programs around to be able to support all of those support networks and be able to offer the same opportunities in sports administration across the board.
Okay, we're going to go to Ji Ye from Xinhua, and then we'll come down back to Japan.
Thanks, Mark. President Kirsty from Xinhua News Agency. In an interview with Xinhua, you mentioned you are very excited to see the water cube changing into ice cube. Now 4 years have passed. So what is your feeling right now? Because the Italian Games will be your first Games as the IOC president. And in terms of the Games organization, the winter sports atmosphere, and how do you look at the differences and the similarities between Beijing and Milano Cortina? Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I'm very proud to be here and for this to be my first Games under my presidency. There's so much to be excited about, aside from the iconic venues and the incredible platform that the organizing committee and all of the partners have put together. We're going to get to see remarkable athletes live out their Olympic dreams. And that for me is always the best part of the Olympic Games, because they just showcase and they inspire us. So I'm most looking forward to that. You know, there's always really, when you look at games that we've held in the past and the games that we're holding now, there's so many lessons learned. And I think one of the greatest things that we took from Beijing 2022 was being able to, when we were implementing and when we were in the planning stages, we used a lot more technology to develop a lot of our venues and our venue plans, and that's been extremely helpful. We have, for the first time, an ice rink that no one thought we would potentially be able to have. And that I think is very exciting, and we're grateful also to the Federation, who were very open-minded in seeing what we could do, and that's going to change the way. And so I think Beijing 2022 showed us how to use existing facilities in different ways, and we've been able to do that here, and it's been tried and tested and been successful, and now we'll continue to do that in the future.
Okay, let's go to Wakako from Yomiuri down the front here.
Thank you. Wakako Yuki from Yomiuri Shimbun. Hi, Kirsty. Tomorrow at the Olympic Village, you have this inauguration of Olympic mural. And in this divided world, you've, in the past, many times said that you hope this Milano Cortina would send a message of peace and the value of Olympism to the world. What is your expectation to have many athletes, including those athletes divided by politics, be at that site tomorrow? And how do you intend to send a message? Also, if I may, for this fit for the future.
Just like old times.
Yeah. As usual. Fit for the future policy. What is the thing that you would like to keep in the face of lots of changes, flexibility, which is important, but at the same time, what is the value of Olympic Games and Olympism that you would like to keep? Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, so the Executive Board, we have a joint meeting tomorrow with the Athletes Commission, which is something that has been long-standing, and we're very excited to have that tomorrow. And then we will go to the Olympic Village, which we're also very all excited about, because we've seen incredible pictures and looking forward to getting to meet some of the athletes that are there. And as you know, we've tried, and Honorary President Bach would also go with the EB and the Athletes Commission to the mural of, and you know, there what we have planned is, I think regardless of who is all around, it's more the meaning, right? And it's a time for us to remember why we believe in our Olympic platform and why it is relevant and why we want to continue to ensure that we unite people and that we show the world that we can actually choose to live in a respectful way with each other, right? And for me, the most authentic part of the Olympic Games, that message is shown, is in the village. And so I'm looking forward to doing that tomorrow. And in terms of Fit for the Future, we have had so many wonderful consultations with all of our stakeholders, including some of you here in this room. And throughout that message, I think it's very clear that there are certain things that we're doing that we should continue to do. There are other things that we've achieved and we maybe don't need to continue doing. And then there are other parts of our ecosystem that we need to evaluate and evolve. So I'm really looking forward to doing that after Milano Cortina. Obviously, the focus is very much here and the success of these games and what that looks like. But I think from all of the stakeholders, I think it would be very fair to say that they see the value in our Olympic values and what that can mean in today's world.
Okay, there were two at the back here, two ladies. Can we get a microphone over here? No, further forward. Where are they? Can I have a microphone? You can come round the aisles if you want. It's easier, probably. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Rachel Axon with Sports Business Journal. Two questions, I guess, for Kirsty or for Christophe. The rotational games in the winter had been a point of discussion that kind of was tabled around the time that Salt Lake City was chosen for 34. How much is that under consideration as part of Fit for the Future? And then for Pierre, Nordic combined remains, back to the issue of gender equity, remains the only one where women are not allowed. What is the status of that and whether that would be under consideration in future games?
Thanks, Rachel. Right now, everything's on the table, and that's what I've sort of asked the working groups. It's also the questions that we've heard from all stakeholders is, are you going to essentially look and have maybe a blank sheet of paper and say, in today's world, what would be the most effective way to do this? And then come back and look at what everyone has said and look at what we do and measure it up, and that's the process that we're in now. So, yeah, I've asked the groups to really dig into everything because I think it's the time to do that now. And I think if we're going to ask ourselves questions, it shouldn't only be the easy questions or the less complicated questions, but we should look at everything. Yeah, so they're doing that. They're looking and analyzing all of the comments and opportunities and challenges that any of the different feedback we've been given.
Yes, regarding Nordic combined, I think we acknowledge the challenges that exist for the discipline, both on the men and the women's side. As you may remember, we were here for the executive board in September, and we communicated back then that we would use all of the information coming out of the Milano Cortina 2026 games to really inform a decision for 2030. And this is what we intend to do. It will really give us a sense of how has the discipline come forward on the women's side, but also on the men's side between 2022 and 2026.
Hi, Daniela Matta, Associated Press. Now, you said you're not going to comment on the ICE agents or the Wasmer revelations, but is it disappointing that these kind of stories are dominating the pre-games narrative just a few days out from the games?
I think anything that is distracting from these games is sad, right? But we've learned over the many years, and I look at these gentlemen next to me, there's always been something that has taken the leading up to the games, whether it has been communities, whether it's been Zika, COVID, there has always been something. But what is keeping my faith alive is that when that opening ceremony happens and those athletes start competing, suddenly the world remembers the magic and the spirit that the games have, and they get to suddenly remember what's actually important, and they get to be inspired. And so we're really looking forward to that.
There's quite a few positive stories out there as well if you want, but, do come and see me if you want some. Okay, let's move over here. We're going to take the gentleman there and then two gentlemen in the front. Yeah, gentleman just there.
Thank you, Mark. Kosuke Nagaki from the Asahi Shimbun. Question to the President. This will be your first Olympic as a President, and as you said, the venue will be quite widespread. Are you going to challenge to visit all the 6 major clusters? If so, are you going to use the helicopter? Are you going to use the car? Are you going to use the train and the bus? Thank you.
Thank you. I am going to try to visit all venues. Yes, I have that in my schedule, and we will be in cars. I believe we're in cars, and the transport that is being provided by us, we will not be using helicopters.
a follow-up on the LA 2028. Have you been in direct contact with Casey Wasserman and for getting sure about his contact with Epstein and Maxwell? Have you spoken with him about this? And the second question, more general, have you taken any steps to check and to clarify if IOC members have been in contact with Mr. Epstein or Mrs. Maxwell?
I've not been in contact with Casey. The focus has fully been on Milano Cortina. There's been a number of things that we have been focusing on here. In terms of IOC members, we're obviously watching and monitoring the media, and if we're aware of a few things that have been reported just today, and we need some time to look into it. I literally was given it as we walked in.
There are 3 million pages, right? So some sifting. Yes.
Yeah. Robert Kemper, German TV, ARD. A question about Russia. There are around 13 athletes, I think, if I'm not mistaken, can compete here at the Milano Cortina Games. Is there a timeline from the IOC bringing Russian athletes back maybe after these games? Is there a timeline? Also, is there a timeline for bringing the Russian Olympic Committee back, lifting the sanctions against him? I ask because the Minister of Sport was quoted in Russian media in December that even the IOC is supporting Russia in putting or making pressure on European countries that Russian athletes can compete there. So would you please clarify how this support looks like?
There's no timeline. And as for Milano Cortina, we made it very clear in, I forget which executive board, that we were running the exact same processes as we did for Paris, right here for Milano Cortina.
Concentrating on the games, I think. Anyone else? We seem to, can't believe I'm saying this, but yes. Jacqueline wants a second go. Yeah. Question. And Sean wants to say, I shouldn't have said anything. Jacqueline, over to you.
This is a rare opportunity. I wanted to know about Milano Cortina's problems with filling the seats for the opening ceremony, whether that's an issue for you. And overall, I'm sure, Christophe, you may have figures on this about how many tickets have been sold and how the budget's going in terms of Milano Cortina.
Would you like to give the good news?
It's rare I have an opportunity to give good news. Jacqueline, 1.1 point something million tickets sold. This is pretty impressive for Winter Games, right? So it's a really good performance, and for anyone out there looking for tickets, there are still a few, but not so much, so rush. And that's the same for the opening ceremony. It's going to be a full house, that's for sure. It's going to be a full house, which for a stadium that size, San Siro, is a massive venue. So on both accounts, one, full venues, something in Beijing, unfortunately, we didn't have. Of course, COVID protocol this time, full. Is it same as Paris? Yes, probably, which is fantastic. And that means as well, and that's the consequence, that from a budget standpoint, they will meet their targets. So on both accounts, really good news.
Okay, was gentleman here first. Sean hasn't had a first question, and then we might come back to you. Gentleman just in the centre aisle here. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Luca Guazzoni, ANSA. Welcome back to my city, my wonderful city.
It's a wonderful city. It's beautiful.
The Pope just called for the Olympic truce. Do you feel his words can help in stopping war during this period?
I am just really happy that more and more people are acknowledging the Olympic truce, and the reference from the Pope, I think sends, again, another message to everybody, so I'm grateful for that.
Okay, Sean Ingle, part 2.
Thank you very much. There was a story in the BBC last night saying the main ice hockey venue, when the BBC visited yesterday, they found a frantic construction site with building materials and dust inside and outside the stadium. They say there's a frantic race against time to finish it. So I just want to be absolutely clear, Christophe, Are you 100% sure everything will be done? I'm sure it will be. And can you tell us the process that you're doing? Is it a 24-hour-a-day job to get it finished, or when do you think it will be absolutely ready?
Okay, so first thing, absolutely certain, yes. And one thing we've been clear about for a number of days now is that you have a number of areas where you'll be very impressed. You walk into the venue, the sitting bowl is dramatic. It's black, ice is ice, and it's going to be dramatic, right? Now, do we have every single space in that venue finished? No. And is it absolutely needed for the games? No. So no one experience will be tainted by anything that needs to be painted or carpeted after the games. Let's be very clear. Anything that is public-facing, anything that is you media or, starting with them, the athletes, absolute top. Do we still have works? Yes. Cleaning, absolutely. A lot of cleaners, both inside the sitting bowl and the venues, outside as well, to make it really beautiful. So still works ongoing, frantic as you say, but it's to make it really, really a great venue. And hat off, because it started very late. So what they have pulled out in so many months, very few, is absolutely outstanding.
Thanks, Christophe. Okay, I think we're going to start winding it down now. There was a question, someone at the back there wanted a question. No? Yes? No? One more, and then I will let Christophe get back with his broom to Santa Giulia. Okay, thank you very much. I think we'll be back in a couple of days, and then obviously we start the regular daily press briefings after that. So thank you very much indeed, and see you soon.
Thank you.